Okay, Richard, great work again today, and fantastic changes between this lesson and your last lesson. You've seen a massive improvement in what you're doing, both technically and also in your ball striking and how it's reacting on the golf course. So kind of moving you on to the next phase of your swing improvement is this, in my mind. Over here on the left, watch your hands relative to that little red circle I've drawn. They're going to work out and above that early. Now, anytime the hands work out, they'll correct themselves by working back behind you. And that's what we see, where you end up in this position where butt of the club is fractionally deep, left arm's a little bit too flat. And from there, that's going to create too steep an angle of attack on the way back down. And that's what you're seeing with your driver, and that's why you're struggling so much with the bigger clubs. So what we've done over here on the right hand side is push the hands up and away from the legs a little bit, tweak the left hand grip. It's very close to being perfect, and there's a massive improvement in where your right hand is, but we've just got that in a slightly better position. And by pushing your hands up and away, your posture now looks immaculate. And then simply try and get the hands to work in and up much more, and they'll follow that path on the way down then. So what we've done is we've hung a head cover off your belt loop here on your right thigh, and just asked you to feel like you drag the club back and brush that head cover. So now we can see the hands are working back on a much cleaner line, and they get up into a much better position at the top of the backswing. So that is wider with the right arm and more in front of you, which is ultimately what you're after, and that's what's going to give you the control with the longer clubs. And as I said to you, very difficult for us to improve on that position. A fantastic position at the top of the backswing, and bearing in mind that your downswing is a reaction to the position you put the club in at the top of the backswing. From there you've now got a chance. So this one on the left, you can see how it gets steep. It's above that line. Watch the new one now on the right hand side. It now shallows underneath that line, so it's coming down on a better angle of attack, and that's going to give us more consistency. From there, I want you to continue to work on your impact drill stuff that you did last lesson. So continue with the same drills you were working on here, where you kind of preset the impact position. Don't be afraid to lean the hands miles forward. Get the weight in that left side. Hold that for a count of 3. And then from there, little backswing, and just try and return back to that same impact position. We gave you another little drill today to help you with that, which is just bear with me while I find the right one. Which is just simply this here. You're going to use that head cover for 2 reasons here now. Obviously to drag the hands back into it, but the moment the hands hit that head cover, that's when I want you to aggressively start to hinge the wrist. Create that 90-degree angle between the left arm and the golf shaft as early as you can, and from that backswing there, we're going to see, again, much wider, arms are more in front of you, right arm's nice and straight, you've set against that right arm. Now we'll see the body unwind correctly. We'll start to see the hands getting across into that left thigh, as opposed to this one here, where it gets very scoopy and the hands are very much in the right thigh. And remember, this is massively better on the left-hand side from where you started, but again, just pushing you on in the same direction. Now, it's kind of a good idea for you to work on these things in isolation. You're either working on this kind of in and up feeling with the backswing, or you're working on your impact position and imagining there's a tee under the ball. You're going to get down and snap the tee from under the golf ball, take a divot, those kind of things. But work on them in isolation. You're either working on backswing or you're working on impact. I mean, look at this here. Look how the club's rehinging beautifully on the way through, keeping the speed in the shaft. Very kind of lazy and a bit sort of floppy look there on the left-hand side. And again, that's going to improve the consistency of strike, but also the start line and the shape of shots you're hitting. And ultimately, that's going to help you with your driver as well. So great work, great changes, and best of luck. Well done.